Remember, there can only be two.
Hello and welcome to episode 6 of our Star Wars podcast, Always Two There Are. I'm Vader Contagion and I'm joined by the Raging Ren. Today, we'll be discussing why Rey is quote-unquote powerful and her connection to the Force. Then we'll explore the nature of the Force and what balance truly means. Thanks again to all of you joining us for another episode, and please spread around our podcast to your friends if you like what you hear. With that said, let's get started.
So to start us off, we have to talk about, is Rey a Mary Sue? Which is huge controversy ever since The Force Awakens came out. But before we talk about that, what is the definition of Mary Sue, VZ?
So, a Mary Sue is defined in dictionary.com as a term used to describe a fictional character, usually female, who is seen as too perfect and almost boring for lack of flaws.
Okay, so we're going to break down our reasoning because Rey is not a Mary Sue.
Definitely not.
First off and foremost, she's not a Mary Sue. We're going to try to chronologically break down arguments and then our opinion as to why she's not.
Yeah.
All right?
Yeah.
So start us off.
All right, so the first part, so we'll list excuses and we can counteract that excuse with our counter argument.
Yeah.
It's in the movie, it's there.
Yeah.
So the first one is why, it's from Force Awakens, why is Rey so good with the lightsaber? Ren, why is she so good with the lightsaber?
So we see, and even in some of the books before The Force Awakens, her main weapon of choice is her staff. And I mean, I thought it was pretty obvious, but I guess to some people it's not. The skill, it transfers well to a lightsaber.
Yeah, it's like the same thing. It's a similar thing.
Exactly. She's been using that to defend herself for,
15 plus, around 15 years. Rey's 19 in Force Awakens, and when her parents leave her, she's, 4, 5, or 6, around that age. So it's around 15 years she's been on Jakku by herself, training herself.
Exactly. Plus, so, she's not perfect. She's not just given a lightsaber, then all of a sudden she could, do all these magical things. It's actual skill and trait that transfers over, and it adapts well with the lightsaber.
And even she's not perfect with the lightsaber still.
No.
Like she's kind of she's like kind of stabbing Kylo at the end.
Exactly, yeah.
Those stabs.
Even the start of the fight in the forest, she's not, and you could tell, it's just...
Kylo's more...
It's technique.
Yeah.
She's just learning her technique. It's a raw, and that's why I like the sequel fights, specifically the fight on Starkiller Base. It's kind of like a raw...
It's raw. It's like
It's a mixture of the original trilogy and then the prequel trilogy.
Yeah. That one scene when they're in the trench, that is like the best choreographed part.
When they're in the two rock.
Yeah, two rocks, and they're clashing a lot of times.
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty simple. She had the staff. Now she has the lightsaber. She still continues to use the staff. Yeah. I'm sure, I think she's still using it in episode 9.
Yeah, it's probably a double-bladed red lightsaber.
yeah. Surprise, I love that. But that's pretty much that.
Yeah, so that's an easy one. The next excuse is why is Rey so good at flying, and why can she speak all these languages? Again, she's on Jakku. She's force sensitive, so this is our counter argument. She's force sensitive. Most force sensitive beings are good at flying,
which can also be used in the lightsaber argument too, because she's force sensitive.
Yeah,
it's a Jedi's lightsaber.
Yeah.
But continue with that.
Even Obi-Wan hates flying, but he's still good at it because he's a Jedi. Jedi are usually good at flying.
Yes, it's a learned skill, but was we'll talk about 9-year-old Anakin.
Yeah, it's very similar. 9-year-old Anakin can do a lot of things. He can build droids from scratch. He could build pod racers from scratch, race those pod racers and not die. Only human to ever do it. And no one said that he was, a so-called Mary Sue.
Yeah, or
Granted, he was
that
the
we know
chosen
of.
one, but
Granted, he was the chosen one, but it doesn't matter. The movie's called The Force Awakens, and the Force awakens in Rey after this long dark period.
Yeah.
After Luke's given up and shut himself off from the Force.
Yeah.
After darkness is rising. Okay, I'm getting ahead of myself, but
Yeah.
we're just,
Yeah, that's why. But yeah, she's good at flying, and also she's been fixing up these ships. Even in the before the awakening, she's fixing up a ship to try to get off Jakku.
There's nothing else to do on Jakku.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do?
Besides the little tally marks in your.
I was about to say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, building your like weird food that like looks really cool and is practical effects.
Your bread that
somehow.
really generates very fast.
Yeah. So, yeah,
Panera bread.
That's why, and she can speak all these languages because she's on a planet surrounded a bunch of aliens. Like, how else does she
I don't even see the language thing as an argument.
Yeah.
How could that even be?
I don't know how she understands Wookiee. Maybe she knows a Wookiee on Jakku, or ran into a Wookiee, or just studied Tree Wook somehow.
Yeah.
But again, that's also for plot. It's not like her.
Yeah, exactly.
So next excuse is why Rey beat Kylo Ren.
Okay,
Double
on Starkiller
R,
Base at the end of The Force Awakens.
Take a breath.
All right, so Han, spoilers for The Force Awakens, obviously. Why are you even listening to our podcast if you haven't watched The Force Awakens yet? But Kylo Ren kills Han. Han falls off a bridge.
Rip.
Yeah, with no railings.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything to do with this, but, well, yeah, it does. Chewie shot him with the bowcaster.
Yeah.
Just in The Force Awakens alone, we've seen the bowcaster in action. Han shot it, Chewie shot it, and it launched...
Projects people.
launched the stormtroopers.
Yeah.
Completely shattered their armor.
Yeah, and Kylo took it like a boss.
He harnessed it with the Force, I guess, and yes, he was injured. Yes, that's why ultimately he was beat by Rey. Of course, it helps that, Rey, the Force has awakened in her at that point in time. And also, we'll talk about it, it's a dire moment that, the Force that she's calling upon the Force.
Yeah.
But, yeah, Kylo's a beast. He didn't get his ass kicked. I mean, he was beaten, but you got to look at, what came before. He took this huge bowcaster, and he was actually, punching his wound, trying to use that anger
and
rage.
It's right after he kills his father.
That too. So
he's split. And
emotionally.
even Snoke says he's
Exactly.
split. That scar on his face that Rey gives him is an example of.
Look at you.
Yeah.
The deed split your spirit.
Yeah. Split your spirit to the bone. Yeah. So that's that. That's why Rey.
He was unbalanced.
He's unbalanced.
Bested by a girl who never held a lightsaber.
You failed.
It's all right there.
Yeah, it's all right there. So that's that. And then also, I guess some people think like Rey is perfect, that she's just like a perfect character and like, has no flaws. Like that's the definition of a Mary Sue. You have no flaws.
Yeah.
Rey has a lot of flaws. She cries in every movie. She's like,
She does.
she's so sad because she wants her parents back.
She needs someone. She's longing for someone to show her place in this story.
And all this.
Which we're getting into The Rise of Skywalker, the final movie,
Yeah.
and just by reading some of these Journey of the Rise of Skywalker books, she still doesn't feel like she does. And after The Last Jedi, she's
she
feeling...
knows she has to move on.
Yeah.
But she still is not, she's not all powerful.
No.
She knows that she can't call on the Force, and we'll get to that.
Yeah.
I guess it's really the next topic.
But she's still, what I was just trying to get at is she was still longing for somebody,
Yeah.
And yeah.
And her rejection for Ben's offer creates the Supreme Leader. Creates the new Supreme Leader, Ren.
I mean, if you have to ask me, I would say that's a pretty big flaw.
That's a big flaw. Because he's going to be all dark. Like, now...
Ask the 12 people on the Millennium Falcon in the end of the movie.
Yeah.
Like, it's pretty big.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say they won. They escaped.
He's building his mask again.
He's
not messing around now.
No. Savage Supreme Leader. Either way, her rejection, which I get she didn't have really much...
She had to save her friends.
Yeah, there wasn't much of a choice there, but it's not like she beat Kylo again.
Yeah.
The First Order took a huge hit. Like, Kylo removed the his mentor that was in the way, and now it's Kylo's turn. Now it's Kylo at the head of the ship.
And I also want to point out that when they're fighting the Praetorian Guards, Ben is taking on like 3 at a time, and Rey's still fighting that one back there, and she also gets cut by that one, and she finally takes him down. But that's why that just shows that Rey can't take on like 5 guys at the same time. She can't.
She has flaws. The little training that she had on Octo, it's not like
Yeah. And then
she's not all powerful.
The last point is Rey lifting those rocks. That's probably like the hardest. I think personally the counter argument, like that excuse has a lot. Like, how is she able to lift all these rocks? Because Luke could barely lift a rock in Empire Strikes Back, when technically canonically he was like training himself for 3 years.
Yeah.
And Rey's has had a lightsaber for a few weeks or a couple days.
Yeah. But I mean, put it into perspective.
Yeah, it's
what's going on right then and there.
The Resistance is dying. She's literally their last hope, or they're all gonna die.
Yeah.
Luke is also sacrificing himself, so the Force is giving her this power, granting her this power. It's it's saving the Resistance, and it's helping balance the galaxy in the future. And it only like the Force only helps. It helped Rey defeat Kylo because it was at a dire circumstance, and it helps her save the Resistance. So it's not like she's got this power. It's just that the Force, it's now awakened in her, but it's given her this ability to lift all these rocks and save these people.
Yeah, and it's not like she's all the time now Super Saiyan mode or whatever.
Yeah, Super Saiyan, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't watch. Whatever
she's not Anakin Skywalker OP level right now.
Exactly, she's not Battlefront 2 launch Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah.
The streets will never forget Battlefront 2 launch Anakin Skywalker.
Yeah, no.
But even in Spark of the Resistance, like we get a little preview into her mindset going into Episode 9. She can't always call on the Force. Like, she's having trouble with that. She's trying to still find out, her place, and she wants to help them, but she can't always call upon the Force, is what she even stated in the book. It seems to just happen during these really dire circumstances.
Yeah, it's really like, she forces Kylo's lightsaber to her hand, like, immediately, because, that was a dire circumstance. Like, it's really just brief moments of, really, meaningful, I guess, Force, power. I
think by 9, like, she'll definitely have a progression by 9. I mean, she's jumping over Kylo's TIE fighter. So,
exactly, yeah. I mean, that's true. But she's also, Force sensitive, and they can do that. And now she's, tapping into it. She's probably reading the books a little bit more. And she's ready to take on Kylo, and she's training too. And they built the lightsabers lighter for Rise of Skywalker, so the fights are going to be more insane.
Oh, the weight of them.
The actual sabers for the actors.
Yeah, strap in.
Yeah, I can't wait. And then, so finally, any like coincidences that happen like with Force Awakens and Last Jedi are, why did everything happen on Jakku? Why was the Falcon there? Why was Rey there? Why is Rey like so special?
Yeah.
It's really just, she's just this girl. Like, as of now, she is a nobody, like Ben said. Like,
exactly,
she doesn't have any meaningful parents, as we know, unless JJ decides to retcon that, or not really retcon, but give more light to that.
I don't think it's necessary.
Yeah, it's not necessary because, well, the Force it's just calling on her. She was the only one in that range to help BB-8 with the map to Luke, and now
it's not a coincidence. The Force meant for everything to happen how it happened on Jakku with her.
Yeah.
I think, like, if she, like, one of the big morals of this sequel trilogy is you don't have to be someone's, special, someone like a Skywalker to make a difference. Like you Finn, could be a nobody.
For example, Finn, he's an awesome character, and he's like 1 in a billion stormtroopers who like turns against them, like in the heat of battle, and he's a Resistance hero now.
Yeah,
and Poe Poe is kind of someone because his parents were in the Shattered Empire comic and
Yeah.
they were awesome.
Yeah.
So, and he lived next to a Force-sensitive tree. He grew up next to a Force-sensitive tree, so maybe that gave him some like fight powers. Or,
Yeah.
you know, good. He's a good pilot.
Absolutely. Plus, he's under, the training of Leia when he joins the Resistance.
But other than that, like, Finn and Rey are really, like, good examples of just kind of, like, these random people brought into this Skywalker drama story.
Yeah.
Which is interesting to see it that way.
She just, it's her destiny, That's just what the Force wheels it.
Her journey is nearing its end.
Snoke says it in The Last Jedi. Darkness rises and light to meet it.
Yep.
So Snoke and Kylo... Well, okay, back up. Luke, Kylo turns on Luke, or really Luke turns on Kylo, then Kylo turns on Luke, destroys, the hope and the spark, the new Jedi Order. Luke shuts himself off from the Force, and the rise of Kylo Ren under Supreme Leader Snoke. Two very powerful dark side beings in the galaxy. For a while, because in a lot of it's uncharted territory right now, wait till after 9, there's no light, there's no spark or anything like that until The Force Awakens. And that's why that's why the Surgence of the Light, starts, because it's the Force balancing itself, correcting itself.
Yeah.
Rey says it, Luke says it, Snoke says it, Kylo says it. It's balance.
Powerful
light.
Powerful darkness.
Powerful darkness. There we go. So I don't know how you can argue with that.
This series is about balance. Like, I heard from someone that prequel trilogy is about the Sith taking over.
Yeah.
The height of the Jedi, Sith take over, Anakin turns to the dark side.
Yeah.
Second trilogy, original trilogy, is about Anakin turning back to the light side. So it's about that light side. This trilogy, I think, is all about balance. Like, what is balance? What is, like, the will of the Force? Like, will we ever see balance? Were the Jedi wrong in thinking that the balance of the Force is the extinguishing of the Sith?
Yeah.
Who knows? Like, maybe they were. Maybe there is supposed to be one Sith and one Jedi, or, three Sith, three Jedi. So balance of light and dark.
It's so great because Kylo is this dark side being who is not fully committed. He's got a little light in him. He couldn't kill his mom. Rey's this light side being on the other end of the spectrum. She's got a little rage, a little anger in her, a little dark side, which you see in the in 7 and 8. So
and now in
and now in
if that's actually her in 9.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's the perfect balance. And that's what some people don't understand, that the Force awakens in Rey to help counter this darkness that's rising.
Yeah, and that's pretty much
Mic drop.
Why the mic drop. That's pretty much why Rey is not a Mary Sue.
Yeah.
All these reasons we just argued for.
Yeah.
In Rey's benefit.
Did you read the Last Jedi novelization?
No.
Okay, there's this part in the Last Jedi novelization. Don't even say it. So, the Last Jedi novelization, it's canon, okay?
It is canon.
Unless someone says otherwise, it's canon,
Yeah.
so, don't get at me. There's this one part in the Last Jedi novel where it mentions that in episode 7, when Kylo looks into Rey's mind, she reverses it on him. They both look into each other's mind.
Yeah.
During that exchange, she gains some of Kylo's knowledge and training. So that's another reason that she's able to do what she's able to do. Obviously, it's not really like a cheat or whatever. I think it's not a huge part of why she is what she is, but I'm just putting it out there. It's something they said. Exactly. Yeah.
And I heard people online, they hate that, but it's online. Everyone hates everything.
Yeah. It's Star Wars
Plus
Twitter, okay?
It's the Force. We don't know anything about the Force. We really do. After all these movies, after all these comics and novels, we still know nothing about the Force and what its capabilities are. We've yet to see.
9 could blow that out of the water.
Yeah. Dave Filoni has already blown that out of the water.
Exactly.
In Rebels.
Yeah, that's true.
Last Jedi did it with Luke's Force projection.
That's true.
So anything's possible with the Force, really.
And it's not even that simple. You break down the Force, it's, living and cosmic. There's not all the same Force.
No, yeah. It's living and then, cosmic, like the Force ghosts, possibly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the first part, really. The second part, we're going to get into the new video of Freddie Prinze Jr. talking about the Force and pretty much what we said, but I want to talk about what he was saying.
Yeah, awesome.
He was on the Friendship Pod, I believe. Pretty sure they interviewed him, and he went off. He went off for 3 minutes.
Are they a Star Wars podcast, or do they talk about?
I don't think so. I think it's like they talk about everything.
Okay.
But I'm not sure.
Okay.
So I just saw that on Twitter, and Kanan was going off, and it's amazing. It's he curses a lot in that video.
He kind of brings some realization though to with some of the things he says, stuff that we didn't realize.
Stuff that I didn't realize, and we're gonna go into this in the next section. It was a realization for us about all things the Force, all things Star Wars, really. What Freddie Prinze Jr. had to say about it. And he learns it all from Dave Filoni, who learned it all from George Lucas. So this is coming from the guy who literally created Star Wars and the Force.
Lucky. Yeah, lucky.
Yeah. Yeah.
Freddie's lucky.
What I would do for 15 minutes in a room with Dave Filoni or George Lucas.
Yeah.
Or really Freddie Prinze, because he knows everything now. And Sam Witwer, too. They're all... Sam knows everything, too.
Yeah.
So Freddie... So the point that we want to point out is that Freddie said that George told him that the Force balanced itself when Palpatine realized that he couldn't kill Anakin because then the Force could counteract that and, maybe make the light more powerful or whatever. So he decided to turn Anakin as his apprentice. So
beef up the dark side.
And it's got two. But what does the light side do? Freddie enlightens us. The light side gives us twins.
Luke and
Leia. To even it out. 2 on the light, 2 on the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And I never realized that before. And it's so amazing. It's so poetic. Like, that is Star Wars.
That is Star Wars. Star Wars is,
poetic.
It's poetic.
It's John Williams' orchestra. It's great. And, I just never realized that. And...
Balance, once again.
Yeah, balance once again.
Back to balance.
And maybe so goes back to our point that we were mentioning before, that maybe the Jedi were wrong at, like, destroying the Sith isn't balance of the Force.
Yeah.
Maybe whether it's a Sith or just a regular dark side user and a regular light side user or Jedi, there still needs to be balance. There's always going to be balance. There's not going to be
total dominance.
Yeah.
I don't think you need. Who knows? Maybe that's not something you need. You need.
Yeah.
And we're not saying that the time after Revenge of the Sith was good by any means for the light side. Yeah. Obviously,
that's why the galaxy was so dark.
Exactly, it was imperial rule for years, but or imperial tyranny, but it's the big picture. Luke and Leia are the new hope.
Yeah. And also the dark side. He was Freddie Prinze Jr. was talking about Darth Maul. And how, Maul was destined to fail, like, from his introduction.
Yeah.
Like, that's what the Sith are. We love Vader. Yeah. We love Maul. We love Palpatine because, they're the cool baddies. They look cool. They have cool powers, can do cool things. But in the end, they're all miserable. Like, even Palpatine, like...
It's the way of the Sith.
Yeah, that's why I don't really want an origin story for Palpatine, because you can't have an origin story and have him, like, be... like an innocent child, and for us to see that.
We got all we needed to know from Palpatine in the opera scene in Revenge of the Sith. The whole Darth Plagueis thing. I don't think I need anything, like...
past that.
Before that.
Yeah, exactly.
Past that.
And I think... is Palpatine miserable? Like, that's what I want to know. Is he miserable with his life? Because he seems pretty happy throughout his rule.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think
he's he's that one.
He's the
case.
top dog.
Yeah, he is the top dog.
Plus, he's the puppet master. Everything is going his way. How can you be miserable?
No, yeah. It's just the dark side will make you evil, and he's purely evil. Like, there's no ounce of good in him. When there's an ounce of good in Vader, and you could even say there may be some light in Maul.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. Not really.
No, not really. Even before the Phantom Menace, he was itching to,
kill Jedi.
Yeah, he was.
But even Maul was a kid when Talzin gave him away to the Emperor.
Yeah.
You don't start off evil. That's why I don't want to see like a Palpatine origin story. I don't want him to see starting off as a child and then corrupted by Plagueis or whatever.
Yeah.
I don't want to see that.
We've seen that.
We've seen that already. Yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, Maul from that point on, that ruined Maul's life, and he was destined to
And he just took L's left and right from that moment.
Pretty much. With small ups and downs.
I mean, yeah.
Throne of Mandalore. That's about it. For like a day.
Yeah.
And came
Crimson
back.
Dawn.
Crimson Dawn. Yeah, that's true.
For the like Freddie was saying, yeah, he was, and he knew he was. He's destined to lose. To not have the high ground his whole life, but it's of course still the impacts that he has throughout his life.
Yeah. Kills
a lot of Jedi, kills a lot of children. Creates survivors, dies, all that kind of stuff. It's the stuff that he does throughout his life that really impacts the trilogy, or impacts the universe.
Which, begs a question: is the Force creating decisions for these characters, or are the characters making their own choices?
I mean, if it's just flat out simple enough that the Force creates these decisions, then what are the characters? What's their even purpose?
Yeah, exactly.
So I think it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. They make their own choices, but then the Force dictates what is going to happen
ultimately
based on those choices.
Exactly.
Ultimately. Yeah. And example for Anakin, he was always destined to be the chosen one. Yeah. At least as of now. 9 might ruin that, but that's my personal take on that matter. No. Hopefully not. No. But Anakin was always destined to be the chosen one. His choice to go to the dark side maybe wasn't planned by the Force,
Yeah.
But he came back to the light, and he did fulfill the prophecy.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm sure that, Swords Band Demon didn't wake up that day thinking that the Force wills that I'm going to get cut down by one of my
masters.
One of my masters who's not a master. But
not a master. Oh, man, too soon.
It's just,
Sorry, Swords.
Forever in our hearts.
Forever in our hearts.
Sorry, where were we?
I don't know, really. The Force
pretty much we summed it up.
We summed everything.
Yes,
up pretty much.
Ultimately, the Force makes those decisions, but the characters that they do also impact their choices.
Yeah. If you want to see a Kanan touching the dark side, watch Freddie Prinze Jr. ranting about Star Wars for those 3 minutes. It's
not around kids though.
It's the best thing ever, and even he is someone. The Star Wars Twitter is praising him as a god now, and he was no, get out of here. Captain Kirk can beat Han Solo in a fight because now he doesn't want the fight, so he's gonna get hate now.
Oh yeah.
But then people are oh, we still serve you, and he's someone I forget some other Star Trek character could beat up Chewbacca or something.
Oh God.
So he's
okay.
funny.
I'm not getting into that.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everything with the Force. There's a lot of questions that
are still
around.
Yeah, still unanswered.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait till the end of 9 or till Project Luminous. Who knows? Something like that.
Force Ghosts.
But
probably. I don't know.
All right. You want to talk? Just close us off with some canon updates.
Yeah,
What's
canon
going
update. So Allegiance.
What's going on with you, at least?
For me, I'm halfway through Spark of the Resistance.
Okay.
Also halfway through Alphabet Squadron, and then I still have to read Black Spire and Crash of Fate, so those are my 2 next. And then, hopefully, I'll finish all those by November 5th, which is when Resistance Reborn comes out, and I really want to read that.
I can't wait for that, yeah. So I'm pretty sure Resistance Reborn is what is it, right after The Last Jedi? Or
I don't, maybe.
It might be the closest book to The Last Jedi.
I gotta find out where Allegiance, that book, and then Spark of the Resistance takes place.
Yeah, so I was telling you before, Spark of the Resistance, so I finished Spark of the Resistance, and I read... Or I know the premise of Allegiance. I read the first issue.
Yeah.
Spark of Resistance is after, I'm not sure how long after, but it's after the Allegiance comic.
I think Rey and Poe, at least, and Rose are in their Rise of Skywalker getup.
Yes, they are. Yeah. They are.
I don't think they
show pictures for
in Resistance Reborn or
I don't think so either.
Allegiance
I mean,
to
just
be
looking
on.
at the cover, which the cover's not always, as it seems.
Yeah, comic covers are not always.
Oh
as it
yeah,
seems.
comic covers definitely. But I'm thinking back to like Thrawn Alliances, the exclusive cover where Anakin's in his Clone Wars gears, but this is after Ahsoka leaves the Order. But either way,
That's so true. It's just an artistic choice. They wanted to put Hayden in the Clone Wars gear, which we actually eventually got in Battlefront 2. But
true. Either way, yeah, I think Resistance Reborn is... Well, no, I'm sorry. Spark of the Resistance is a little bit, not sure when, but a little bit after Allegiance, which is weird because Spark of the Resistance came out before Allegiance. But it's going to be... We're not sure. There's no set time of how long it is from The Last Jedi, but they mention some... I don't know. I'm not going to it might be spoilers, but they mention something that I think is the premise of the whole Allegiance comic, which is weekly. So we're getting next week. We're getting number 2. So, yeah, I read Allegiance number 1. I finished Spark of Resistance. I've already finished Alphabet Squadron a couple months ago, but I started Black Spire because that's the only other book that I need before.
You said that's good, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to finish that before Resistance Reborn. But yeah, I like it so far. It's like if you enjoyed Phasma, I think you're gonna enjoy.
Wait, did I mention that I met Delilah Dawson? I'm pretty sure I did, but I'm gonna say it again. I met Delilah Dawson.
Yeah, you.
I said hi, and I was like, "Oh, I love Phasma."
Oh yeah, that's right.
I said it.
Yeah.
You know.
You might not have said it to me. You might
I'm pretty
not
sure I
have
said it on
here.
this podcast before.
Okay.
Pretty sure it was like the first episode.
Yeah.
Probably like my first line on this podcast.
Yeah. I feel like I might like Black Spire better than Phasma. It's like
it's
couple weeks after
probably...
after the end of Phasma. So it's
okay.
It's weird because it starts in the middle of The Force Awakens, and then it starts when Leia is about to go to Takodana.
Oh, okay.
Before she hears about the Hosnian system.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So and then it goes to The Last Jedi, and then cuts a couple months. Wait, no, not a couple months after. Maybe a couple months after.
Yeah. Who knows?
But it's basically just like a side mission that the main character from Phasma goes on with. Spoiler from Phasma turned to spoiler from Phasma. Whatever.
I know what you're talking about.
Okay, yeah.
So that's canon, and then also possibly the trailer could come out October 21st. I heard that rumor.
Yeah. So
everywhere.
We have.
You fact checked this, right?
I did fact check it. Yeah, I asked Siri when Carrie Fisher's birthday is.
Okay.
And it is October 21st. So
it makes sense. Yeah,
I mean, it makes
trailer
sense.
On her birthday.
People were thinking it was going to be next Monday, the 14th, or whatever next Monday is.
Yeah.
Well, people also thought it was
14,
this past Monday. It wasn't this past Monday.
No.
Maybe, who knows? It could still be next Monday, or, I mean, I could really
want
see
it to be the 21st now. It's Carrie's birthday.
Yeah, I do too now. Either way, it's coming.
I can wait. I can wait for that long.
Yeah, I can wait.
We've waited like 4 years for the end, really.
Yeah, either way, it's coming. I don't think we're going to leave October without it,
Yeah, definitely not.
Seeing tickets going to go on sale. It's going to be great. I'm going to buy all of them. So.
Also, more news. If you pre-order Jedi Fallen Order, you can get a Megiddo and an Umbaran hilt for Jedi Fallen Order. If you pre-order that game, you can get those 2 hilts, and you get an orange bladed lightsaber. Also,
and a skin for
BD1, and it's like yellow. So look
That's
that up.
cool.
Follow EA Star Wars.
I got to pre-order it.
Yeah.
Still. You already pre-ordered it?
Yeah. Hopefully I get all that stuff though.
Yeah.
So.
Because you're not gonna get it if EA has to speak for itself.
If
you're
I
not gonna get it
no
down the line.
Yeah.
I hope it is just a pre-order bonus. Side note.
Yeah.
And not like something you can unlock
because orange
later.
is a very unique color. We haven't seen that on screen yet.
Yeah. Plus
all
those
the other
hilts
colors,
look sick.
Those hilts are very awesome. All those other colors are definitely going to be in the game though.
Yeah.
Just orange you'll get if you pre-order, which is awesome.
It's
cool.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So yeah,
a lot of Star Wars to look forward to coming up soon.
Absolutely.
Jedi
Just
Fallen
wanted to
Order.
touch on Rey. Very special character for me. I'm sure a very special character for you.
Yeah, he gets very emotional about people making
defensive.
fun of Rey. Yeah.
I love her. She's beautiful.
She's great.
It's really not. I'm a big fan of the sequel trilogy, so I'm not the person, you should be talking to if you hated The Last Jedi and hate what the sequel trilogy is doing, and like
it's not even the trilogy yet because we have only seen 2/3 of it.
Exactly, but people have already made up their mind about the Rise of Skywalker.
Exactly. Yeah.
So
they're gonna boycott it.
Yeah, The Force Awakens is very similar to A New Hope, but Star Wars rhymes, and we already said Star Wars rhymes, so it's just...
I saw a comment on Twitter that Rise of Skywalker is gonna bomb, and they can't wait for it to bomb.
Yeah.
I bookmarked that tweet, so when Rise of Skywalker is in the top 5 of all-time box office, I'm gonna retweet that.
Oh, yeah. I'll look at... Listen, I don't... some, helpful hints. Don't set your expectations super high, like some people did with The Last Jedi, because... even Ryan Johnson said, don't watch the trailer. Even Luke...
This is not going to go the way you think.
Even Luke said in the movie, this is not going to go the way you think.
Yeah, which I may have been guilty of that. So now I know not to expect anything. I'm just excited for that Kylo Ren Rey fight on top of the Death Star destruction, which is amazing.
Absolutely. In the rain, on the water. But I don't care. It's going to be great. I can't wait.
I was talking to that kid on Xbox last night, and he said, because he, I guess first watched the trailer last night. He didn't even know the movie was coming out in December. People, I don't know. How are you playing Star Wars Battlefront 2 and don't know that a new Star Wars movie is coming out in December? Anyway, that doesn't matter. But he watched the teaser, and he was like, "Oh man, that Rey and Kylo fight looks like Anakin v Obi-Wan in Episode 3." And I was like, "I know! Oh my god,
that's awesome."
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, I talked to that kid. I talked to some kid on Xbox for an hour and a half.
Shout out to that guy.
Yeah.
Good job.
So, yeah. Star Wars is great. Star Wars is booming right now.
Yeah. So, that'll pretty much do it.
Yep. Follow us on Twitter at always2thereare and also Instagram at Vader Contagion. Follow us. We'll be, posting some, memes or whatever, some pictures. Maybe retweet that Star Wars Fallen Order pre-order. And again, guys, may the Force be with you.
And Rey's not a Mary Sue. She's beautiful.
She's beautiful.
See you later.
May the Force be with you. Bye.